Welcome to Muse on the News. I'm Lisa.
I'm Kel.
I'm Abby.
Abby.
I'm Neil. Hi.
Yeah,
sorry.
special guest Neil.
Sorry, I'm more impressed the fact you spelled my name correctly.
Why?
Well, a lot of people tend to spell it wrong, and I don't mean the long part. I mean the short bit. They get the Neil bit sometimes ran the wrong way and things like that. So yeah, but it's great to be here, guys. Great to be here.
I'm just gonna pop Abby on top of us, who are misses, so I'm not hidden behind the logo. There we go. Lovely. Hello, everyone. How are we?
Well, I'm fine. I'm just sitting outside in the sun actually, but the sun's just disappearing below the trees, which makes my eye line a lot better because it means I can actually see what's going on now.
It's been ridiculously, revoltingly hot today, hasn't it?
It has. I'm quite lucky though. We have an air conditioning unit, which I bought about 3 years ago. So
I am so jealous of that.
Abby's having technical trouble. I'm just gonna remove that.
We reached a stage where it's just getting so hot, and the kids weren't opening up windows and things like that. So it was like, right, we're just getting an air conditioning unit. And do you know what? It's one of the best things I ever bought, according to my wife, which is fantastic.
I can totally empathize with that. I've been melting. I joke with everybody that my blood boils once we hit 22 degrees, and it's actually true. Like my Irish blood just really cannot cope with it at all. Have we lost Abby completely?
Yes, Abby's having internet issues, so yeah, I don't know if Abby's going to be back, I'm afraid, guys, but let's carry on because the show must go on, as we say.
It must. We have to carry this. Okay.
We'll have to carry it on our shoulders.
All right, we can do it. I've got every faith in this team. So, right, for anybody who's tuning in for the first time, this is our news show. So we identify a few articles in the press that have taken our fancy that we'd like to have a chinwag about, and then we have a chat about them. So, but before we do, it's not a press article, but it is news really. So my choice this week is to talk about Pride on the Road. So this past weekend, Pride in Surrey has been on the road the length and breadth of the county of Surrey, and we started on Friday afternoon and we finished on Sunday evening, and we went to Reigate, Redhill, Caterham, we went to Epsom, Walton, Woking, Staines. We had a party stop at Thorpe Park, followed by a party stop at Camberley. We were at Farnham, Chiddingfold, Godalming, Guildford and Dorking.
It was exhausting. We visited all 11 boroughs in the county, so it was good. I've just got a little video to show our viewers.
Yeah, show the video.
Let me just pop this up.
Oh, fantastic.
What a weekend. What a weekend.
Such good memories there. What was your highlight, Abby? Because you were with us all through Saturday, weren't you?
That's right. It was just talking to people and really getting a feel for the day, and everybody was being so welcoming everywhere. You know, I had some people just coming to say some beautiful kind of confiding in me. You know, I was just a stranger there, but they felt they could talk to me and open up, and to just know that there's that support out there. It's wonderful, you know, and to see that happening in real life. You know, it's not just us talking about it or wishing for it. It's that happening in front of you, you know. There was a family there in one of the stops, and one of the children had just come out, and that was the first outing and the first time that they embraced it all in public, and they were there with us sharing that moment. I thought it was beautiful. So, I mean, of everything in the celebration is the fact that we are having an impact in people's lives, and being able to just be positive and bring that positivity and knowledge and education. You know, it's what it's all about. So it's wonderful.
Do you know what was a really positive part of the weekend, Abby?
Yes.
It was you doing this dance.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
It was the YMCA that we did a million times over the weekend, but this one in particular in Camberley, where we actually managed to get Reverend Mike, we got Sarah Jane Croak, the Mayor of Surrey Heath, we got our resident chef, Jason Plimmer, and we got Councillor Morgan Rise Up doing the YMCA in front of a whole crowd of people pointing and laughing. How amazing is that? So let's have a little look. We got a team shot here from the guys at Reigate as we started our journey.
And that deck chair.
That deck chair was so popular.
Everyone loved that.
This is the board of Pride in Surrey. This is Lisa, this is Charlie, this is Craig, and this is Steve. They make the magic happen. And we couldn't be more proud to have Hazel Dean, Queen of High Energy, and 80s legend as our patron. She came out.
Is that Hazel Dean?
Yeah. Hazel is the most wonderful woman, and she's our patron, and she supports us. And she came out and she actually sang through a megaphone in the middle of Walton-on-Thames for everyone to hear
without any warning.
She's such a good sport.
Yeah.
We also had the Mayor of Surrey Heath doing karaoke at our Camberley stop
with her daughter Ellie.
With her daughter Ellie,
fantastic. They sang Club Tropicana.
They did, and here we go. Here's Sarah Jane Croak again with some of the team. But what?
That's Emma there, who works in our community engagement team with us.
Yeah, but what a day, guys! And to everybody watching, to everybody watching who came out to see us or engaged with us through social media, thank you so much, because we do it for you. Hazel, say hello. Hi, Hazel. Hazel, one of your biggest fans, Neil here. He loves you.
You know when you're a kid, when you're like in the 80s and you have the Top of the Pops going, and you know Hazel Dean, and then all of a sudden someone's like, oh yeah, Hazel Dean's there, and it's like, oh, Hazel Dean. Well, you know, and I'm like, I probably wouldn't talk to her.
Would you be starstruck? Would you be starstruck?
Yeah, I get starstruck. I do get starstruck really, really easily. There's a I bumped into Russ Abbott once.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't say a thing. Literally, I could not say a thing whatsoever. And he was like asking all these questions. I'm like, yeah.
Do you know what you've done there? Do you know what? Hazel is the friendliest, most approachable person. She would have loved to have had a chat with you. I know she would. So
I'm delighted she's watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
No, it was lovely. It was so lovely to see her in Walton with her family. It was just so nice that she took the time out to come and see us. And she
you know, for me, I couldn't actually make it, but for me, it was like you watching the whole event on Facebook, watching it all unfold was absolutely amazing. And you guys did an amazing job. And you know, to do the YMCA, how many times did you actually do the YMCA over the weekend?
349. But we also did. We had a dance routine to the cha-cha slide. We had one for Proud Mary. And whenever Steve decided there was going to be a party dance, basically anyone within earshot of the microphone had to come up and perform at Steve's whim. So I
worked at a holiday camp like that, funny enough.
Yeah, do you know it's not? And I've got the rhythm of a dead badger, but I still gave it a stab. And it was really, really enjoyable. And I think we entertained. I think we celebrated, educated, and connected at the weekend. I think it was really fun.
Yeah, so thank you to everybody who sponsored us, because we can't do that without funding. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody who came out to see us. And just on behalf of the board, I would just like to thank the team, because do you know what? They worked so hard, Neil. The temperatures were so high. It was absolutely just, it was excruciating work, really. It was hard going, and everybody gave it their absolute
I must admit, I was at home and I was doing the barbecuing, and I had a lager in my hand, and I was going, I really feel sorry for those guys out there doing that.
Yeah, do you know what? Any of us that got our crew t-shirts that were a bit tight on the Friday, they were baggy as heck by Sunday afternoon, because we sweated off the pounds. Let's put Abby back in. Abby, your internet's terrible today.
What's going on?
I've been fine. Don't worry about it.
We have to kick our kids off their Xboxes when we go live, because it drains the internet.
I know. But listen, I just want to say hello to Dylan, who's watching. Dylan came to see us in Guildford, so it was great to see him in person, because he's a real loyal follower of us here online. So he always tunes in for Cook Along.
Always tunes in, and Go to the Week is a feature that we do specifically for Dylan, because he's super fan. So again, you know, people contribute to this show in ways that they don't always realise, but we do it for you. And you know, if there's anything that we can do in our shows, or if we can create a show for you, get in touch. Email online@prideinsurrey.org. We would love to hear your ideas. We'd love to have any contributions you can make. We're a community show, and we're a show for you. So hit us up.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and thanks to the main sponsor, of course, Surrey County Council. We kicked off in their new building in Reigate on Friday afternoon. And it's beautiful, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
Had a lovely warm welcome there. So hello to everybody over that way, and thanks very much. So yeah, Pride on the Road. Roll on the main event next.
Yep, September 25. I've probably got a picture. Would you like a picture?
Yeah.
Go on.
There we go. Main event, 25th of September in Godalming. Godalming is an absolutely beautiful, picturesque, historic market town, and they can't wait to have us there. They're very excited, and we're excited to be there. So go on to prideinsurrey.org, secure your event passes. Because of COVID regulations, we do need everybody in your party to have one of those. So even the little guys, please. Book your event passes. Come see us in September. We'd love to have you.
And Shinefest, we should probably say.
Tell us about Shinefest.
Well, Shinefest is an established festival. It takes place in Walton on Thames. Do I say it right?
Yes.
Thames? Yeah, very good. You must get the tickets for that too. So you can see that shinefest.uk. You can get them there. We'll be there with the Pride stage. There'll be another stage as well. Abby, you are performing at Shinefest, aren't you?
Yes, finally.
Cal, did you manage to get your star who you wanted?
Which star?
It was you were holding. I think you were talking about Rick Astley at one point. I don't know.
He's elusive, but we haven't given up yet. We never give up.
He would never give us up,
wouldn't he?
Or
never give you
or
up.
let us down. I love Rick Astley. Yeah. Rick Astley is probably one of my favourite performers of all time, and he would be my dream guest to have at Pride in Surrey.
Or indeed for an interview, Rick, if you're watching.
Or Rick, if you're watching, I know you're a regular viewer.
Well, he's very good friends with Hazel, you see, so Hazel might be able to deliver a message.
Well, there you go. Set it up.
Yeah, we'll do our best. Anyway,
okay, right. Let's do a proper news article, shall we? What are we going to do first?
While Abby is there, should we do her one?
Let's go to yours.
We'll have a go. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. This one, Abby.
Whilst my internet is working.
Yes,
go for it. Go for it.
Oh, now see, my internet's gone funny now. I can't get the picture up. Hold on. Let me see.
It's coming. You start chatting. It's all right, it's there.
There we go.
I can barely hear you girls. It's a bit robotic, the sound. I don't know.
You sound fine.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep going. So,
no.
I thought it was really. Oh no. That's
very
current. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's about.
Oh dear.
LGBTQ plus rights.
I think we're going to have to deliver this one, aren't we?
I think we might have to.
Do you want to have a chin wag about this one then, baby?
No.
Oh. Okay, so well, there we go. I mean, the headline speaks for itself. So the EU has launched legal action against Hungary and Poland, right, Abby, over fundamental violations of LGBTQ rights. So it's really significant. Go for it. While you're there, you tell us about it.
Right. Well, it's just something that we always need to discuss. You know, at this day and age, we shouldn't have anybody doing this kind of thing or supporting this kind of idea, and it's appalling, really. But for that, the EU is showing some support towards the LGBT rights, and also taking action so that this doesn't keep happening. So for what I understand, it's a process. It will take a couple of months for them to react to it, to reply. You know, Poland.
Yeah, so then they'll be given the opportunity to answer the case that the EU has put to them. And of course, we have seen, and we've spoken about it before, the situation in Poland particularly has got really bad with LGBTQ-free zones being implemented in the cities, which of course just makes it inaccessible for tourism, really, for the LGBTQ community, but also for members of the community who are resident in those cities. It's a dire situation, isn't it?
So backward steps everywhere.
It reminds me of South Africa and apartheid and things like that. You know, it's that sort of thing, which is just ridiculous, really. This day and age, we shouldn't have that going on.
That's why Pride in Surrey does what it does, because just because we have our rights now, it doesn't mean that they can't be taken away from us. And we see this situation happening time and again, you know, in certain countries, and rights are being rolled back, and we need to cling on to them, and we need to fight to keep them, and we need to fight to, you know, move forward with rights, particularly at the moment with regards to the trans community. We need to gain and win and hold on to those rights for our trans siblings. And it's horrific how, I don't know if anybody watched, we did an interview with Professor Alistair Pinkerton, who's a geopolitics expert, and he explained how LGBT rights are basically a bargaining chip around the world politically, and you know how our rights are given and taken away for political manoeuvring by politicians, and it is simply not on, because we wouldn't behave that way now with people of colour or with women or with young people. Yet somehow the LGBT community seems to always be the one that suffer the brunt of political manoeuvring, don't we?
Yeah. It is a serious issue, but it is wonderful, I think, that the EU is finally taking some action against these member states, because it has to be challenged, and we have to just continue to compound that message that actually it's intolerable and we won't have it. And it's not acceptable to treat people as second-class citizens for any reason. And it's just unacceptable. And thank you, Abby, for bringing this article to us, because I do think it is a really important thing to highlight.
Okay,
super.
What are we moving on to?
Brittany next.
Mr. Entertainment himself is going to talk to us about poor Brittany.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been a big fan of Brittany. You know, from when I was a DJ playing it to kids, you know, and obviously Whoops, I did it again and things like that. There was a lot of at the time about what she was wearing and everything, but then obviously she went into this very, very strange, dark place where she shaved up all her hair and she had a mental breakdown and everything. And it was that point that her dad decided that he was going to take control of her life. Now, which some of you would say that's not a bad thing, having someone looking after you, but he still has those same rights now that he had back then. And basically, Britney Spears has been trying to fight to get that revoked now. Because I mean, I don't know how old Britney Spears is now, but obviously she's definitely a lot older.
She's 39 or so. She's not much younger than us.
Yeah,
you know.
And she has no control over her life, to the stage of basically that. He said that she has to keep recording songs. She can't drink coffee. She can't, she can't have any children. And it's stupid that I can't believe that this one person has so much control over someone's life.
Part of this, Neil, just to interrupt you, that I have found most horrific is the fact that she is being forced to keep a contraceptive device. She's being prevented from having children. She's being prevented from marrying her long-term partner. The control, it's not just the artistic control over her career, it is the absolute overall control of her life. The
thing is, no, I mean, obviously there is a big contract in place, and normally if you go to places now, like you go to a pub or a church or something, there are big signs up saying, are you being controlled? Have you got this person in your life? And over here there would be, yeah, that's fine, we can get that sorted. But in America, for some odd reason, they just can't do anything about it. I mean, she even had to be told what lawyer, he had to choose the lawyer that she was going to use. But now that's been thrown out, so she's choosing her own lawyer. But I mean, what is he getting out of this? What as a person?
Neil, do you think this man would be as interested in controlling his daughter's entire life if she wasn't a multi-millionaire?
Well, this is it. I mean, who's looking after her money? He is.
He is. And he's benefiting from it as well.
Yeah, and I've seen, she's been quite vocal recently, hasn't she, on social media? And she's saying, she stopped performing because she didn't even have any creative control over her own career. He was putting in place the dance routines and the set lists and even the stage lighting and the backing dancers. She had absolutely no say over her own career. So she's refusing to do it now, and good on her for that. So now she's releasing, little dance routines that she's recorded in her own lounge, because it's the only way she can actually do what she loves to do without her father having total and utter control over every single little, artistic direction.
But we have seen this before. We've seen the Jacksons. I mean, the father of the Jacksons. I mean, he was exactly the same. He was really controlling. He had to have a say over absolutely everything. So it's not something new to us. We have seen it before. But
that wasn't a legally binding thing, though, was it? He was just a controlling father.
Yeah, it was just a controlling father. But what we need to look at, I think, here is the fact that basically this one person has control over somebody else. Like, they're not a person, and that's the thing. She's now, say, 39, so she needs to have those rights. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, and the bigger picture to this, of course, is that stigma around mental health. And we all have to take care of our mental health, and some people have additional challenges with that. But she has been through a very dark period in her life. She appears to have come out the other side of that.
It's a very long time ago.
It was a very long time ago indeed. And actually, some would argue that she should still be able to maintain autonomy over her life, regardless of her mental health, and that she shouldn't have had that level of control ever enforced upon her. And I think it's an absolute shameful thing.
It's insane. Even her ex-husband has come out and said he wants it removed, and he has no problem with her spending time with their children. And as far as he's concerned, she's in the best of health, both physically and mentally. So if the father of her children has no problems with her, being unsupervised with their kids, then why is he so concerned that she can't manage her own career, her own contraception, her own relationships? It stinks, and it's all about money. And I think the Free Britney movement is gaining traction, and now hopefully, if she can, select her own legal team, maybe there's some hope for her in the future, and we might see some Britney action on stage and in the record shop soon. What do you reckon?
Well, I mean, obviously Britney Spears is a fantastic artist. I mean, she's belted out some real corkers of songs over, especially at the beginning of her career. And I think that's what people remember, those 4 or 5 tracks from the beginning of her career. And I mean, I know for a fact that, they have dance routines that go with them and things like that. So I'm sure that whenever she sings, it's a bit like Steps, isn't it? Whenever a Steps song comes on, everyone's there, oh, I've got this, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So it will be great to see her back on the stage. Definitely.
It would. I hope it gets sorted. I really feel for her with this one. And, she's going to be one of probably hundreds of thousands of people in the same situation in America, because those laws allow it, and it's
the opposite. Do you remember in the 90s there was a whole sort of host of child stars being emancipated from their parents, wasn't there? Drew Barrymore did it, and Macaulay Culkin did it.
Yeah,
they basically divorced their parents and said, no, you're not going to control my career, you're not going to control my money, I am my own person. And if young people under 21 can do that, then why can't a fully grown mother and career person do that. I guess.
Yeah.
But surely she goes to 2 or 3 psychiatrists. She gets assessed, and they're like, okay, fine. Isn't that how it works?
But not if there's millions and millions of dollars involved, Neil. I think that's what it is.
I know.
What is nice to see is that her mother is really fighting for her now, and it's good to see that she does have that familial support on her maternal side. So, long may that continue, and let's hope that it gets resolved.
Absolutely.
Very, very.
Let's try and bring Abby back in. Hi, Abby. You keep dipping in and out.
Honestly, it's a nightmare. I've tried a different network to see if it works now. But yeah, are you still talking about Britney?
Yeah. What do you think about Britney?
Right. Well, I just think it's really sad that the situation that is happening to her. As a human being, you should have the right to decide what to do and what not to do. But in her case, I understand the idea behind it was to try and help her, because she went through such a difficult time in her life. Yet she has seemed to, like you said, have recovered. And she seems very capable, of looking after herself. Yeah. And it's quite shocking to see the level of control. I didn't realize how bad it was until it all came out in the news. So I truly, truly hope she can be, free from all those people who have been controlling her life for so long, and she can actually enjoy and be happy. It's very sad. She's a brilliant artist, and she's not, still current for no reason. It's because she's got a talent. Apart from that, and above all, she's just another human being who's been through a crisis and deserves to have her life back on track without people controlling her.
That's it.
They played the nail on the head. It's a very long time ago, and I think because it was obviously very public, and it's given her father a good excuse to take that control. And well, hopefully, Britney will be freed.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. Yeah,
free Britney.
Yeah, great to see her performance. She her shows were really fantastic. So it would be great to see her back on stage properly again. Right, my darling. Okay. See you next.
Let's move on. So our final article this week is an interesting one.
It's that one, isn't it? Yeah.
It's this one. Look, let me just check, because I don't think I'm not sure it's set up properly.
But you can talk about it.
I can talk about it. Yeah, basically, in America. Oh, here we go. Right, there we go. That will do, won't it?
It's a Gay Times article.
It's a Gay Times article. So there we go. There's me. Hold on. Right, there's my private messages there all over the internet. A couple of Amazon, at least 2 Amazon employees are known to have resigned due to Amazon stocking a seriously transphobic piece of literature. It's a piece of literature that's actually now in their top 10 charts under LGBT studies. Basically, this book accuses the trans community of following a fashion and being a fad, and it's hugely hateful. And I so many people that work for Amazon are 0 hours contract workers, and they're on minimum wage, and they're expected to work all the hours God sends for very little reward or respect, in fact. So I think it's absolutely incredible that a couple of people have actually resigned due to conscience. You don't really read much about people resigning because of their conscience anymore when they work for these huge, great big multinational companies. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic that people had taken a stand against it. It's not going to make any difference, unfortunately, to Jeff Bezos and his conglomerate. But I really love the fact that these people respected their trans siblings enough to say, no, I'm not going to work for a company that endorses this, that sells this, that profits from this. And I think I think we should see more. I think we should see more people making a stand for what they believe in, because then these companies wouldn't get away with it. Yeah.
I mean, when you consider the fact he's just gone up to space for 10 minutes and come back down again, and wasted I don't know, has he wasted all that money? But he said that basically he thanked all his employees because they're the ones who paid for it. you know. So it's sort of like basically, Amazon's good for for two things basically. First of all, it's express food deliveries when you've forgotten that someone's coming around for dinner, and you need to buy something really, really quickly. And secondly, for sound equipment, which is my go-to side for sound equipment. But the thing is, what they've got there is just totally wrong, and I don't even understand how that book has got so high in the charts, to be honest.
No, and you know what? It shouldn't be in any kind of chart, because nobody should be buying it, because retailers and ethical retailers should be saying, no, I'm not going to stock this, you know, and we wouldn't be stocking, you know, nobody would be stocking books that criticized people's gender or their race or, you know, their political beliefs. That wouldn't be socially acceptable, but they're quite happy to stock and publicize the books that, you know, that are attacking the trans community and put them in their top 10 lists and actively promote the purchase of them. It is entirely unethical. And I just think, you know what, he's got so much money, he doesn't need that, you know, 12p he's going to make off of each sale of that book. And he should be making a stand. He's got money and power, and he should be making a stand and preventing people with these kind of views from trading through his platform.
Wouldn't it be great if people in his position who have the power to do this, they have the power to change the world, you know, and it would be great if he said, you know what, just for that book, we're not going to sell it. We won't sell it.
For that and many other books which, you know, are critical of people and people's very existence. You
but
know?
that comes up. But then again, you run under the freedom of speech and people can write what they like sort of thing. But I think you can write what you like up to a certain degree. But if you're blatantly going to be upsetting people by writing, you know, such things, it's just ridiculous.
With freedom of speech comes great responsibility. You know, there's a huge responsibility to being able to air your views. And if you air views which are controversial and which are not, you know, the accepted point of view, then you deserve to be called out for it. Yes, and I'm not saying that this person can't write what they think, but you know what, make it into a little personal blog and share it with your 6 mates that believe the same as you. Don't create, you know, a bound book and sell it through a retailer like Amazon, expecting to be able to peddle your vicious nonsense to people and profit from hate. And that's exactly what it is. It's profiting from hate.
Yeah, it's obviously it's quite a strong subject, that one, isn't it, really? And it's something we could talk about for hours now. In fact, it'd be nice to actually get a copy of it just to see what it's actually about and what it's like.
Oh, don't put money in their pocket.
I know, that's what I mean. If someone's got, you don't want to buy it, but it'd be interesting to look at it. I mean, obviously libraries wouldn't stock it or anything like that, so it's sort of.
Yeah, you'd hope not. You'd hope not. What do you reckon, Abby?
We get Abby Stan's gone.
Not to worry. Well, yeah, no, I think you know, you've hit the nail on the head with it there. Yeah, just apparent, but lovely to see a spirit of resistance and
absolutely. Viva la resistance.
Yes, pride is a protest, but that's the ultimate protest, isn't it? Walking out. So,
that's it.
Yeah, very, very good. Right, have we got word?
Yeah. Is everyone ready for it?
Yeah.
Is everyone ready for the musical masterpiece that is this jingle?
Go on, then.
Guys, are you sitting down?
Yeah. Go on then.
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
Expert. So good.
It's loved. It's beloved, actually. That is. I have so many people writing to me on a weekly basis asking for a download.
Oh, man.
or a 12-inch version.
So
a 12-inch. Repeated on loop.
Yeah. Extended 12-inch remix people want.
I'll tell you what, you could put nice little beat behind that, and it would fly, wouldn't it? It would be flying off the chart.
Doesn't need a beat. That could be a cappella, and people would like it. Neil,
Abby knows.
Abby knows. Abby's a musician. She agrees with us. Anyway, this week's word of the week. Ooh. Oh, that's a bad picture. Limerence.
Limerence. Tell us what it means.
Limerence is the act of being addicted, basically, to another person. Being besotted with another person. And I thought it was a lovely, beautiful word.
So am I in limerence with you? Or
I hope so. I'm in limerence with you. There is limerence between us.
Okay.
We are addicted and besotted.
Oh, that's good.
That's a beautiful word.
That's a good word.
It is.
Are you in limerence with your Cheryl, Neil?
Always.
Oh.
Always. Plus, there's probably a few other words in there she'd like to throw in, but yeah, I would say limerence. Yes, definitely. It's an amazing word. It's a word I've learned tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what we aim to do: is celebrate, educate, connect. And
yeah,
this brings all of it.
It isn't limerence somewhere a place in Ireland.
Quite
terrible.
Not
terrible
quite.
joke.
Not quite.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Anyway, we've got a goat.
We've got to go. Are you ready for this goat?
Go on then.
Goat of the week.
So this goat of the week is a goat that we met at the weekend on one of our stops at Pride of the Road.
Yeah.
Sean from Caterham. Sean's a party goat. Sean came out for our final stop in Caterham. he was really ready to go.
Yeah.
He had glow sticks with him and
Yeah.
a whistle and one of those little plastic dummies from the 90s, and he was really giving it some.
He was knocking back the mocktails like no.
He showed us all up, and he was basically the one that suggested the team got involved with doing the YMCA frequently.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
What do we think of Sean?
Can we just say were any goats harmed in the making of this picture?
We never harm goats here. That's a very, very serious thing to say.
The hat, I love the hat. The hat is absolutely amazing.
Sean's a party boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna sort of coming along to more events? Is that going to be like your mascot?
You never know.
We're thinking of putting Sean in charge of our September event.
Can he do any better? Do you think? Or
Can't do any worse.
Just say our events are brilliant. Our events are brilliant. Anyway, right, that's our goat of the week for Sean, or for Dylan. Sorry, Dylan. God. It's getting to us
It's
today.
getting to us, isn't it?
It's getting to us. Right, have we got a message from a friend?
Who do we want to hear from? Should we hear from our friend Zoe? Yeah.
go on.
Here's our friend Zoe.
I'm Zoe Lyons. Sometimes it's easier just to text. Text TALK to 88440. You're not alone.
Our lovely friend Zoe Lyons.
She's amazing. She's brilliant. Such a funny lady.
She's a hilarious lady.
I just had a comment come in from Kerry to say hello. Hello, Kerry.
Hi,
nice
Kerry.
to see you. She wonders if we're all okay. We are. We're just absolutely roasting hot. Just so hot. But anyway, there you go. The joys of the south of England.
That's it.
Can you not sit outside, girls? Can you not sort of sit outside and?
No, do you know what? As soon as we
the door open, but it's not doing it.
As soon as we try and do anything outside, next door put the radio on and get the paddling pool out. So you know,
they're out there mowing the grass, aren't they? Mowing the grass,
mowing the lawn and playing with noisy drones and having a disco, and
it's just typical, you know. As soon as you try and do something, it's on. But anyway, so yes, no, we're better off in the safety of our dining room, aren't we?
Yes, better off in the safety of our dining room. The children are all upstairs with their Xboxes turned off, so we get a good internet connection.
So they can't even watch TV because they can't stream anything. That's nice, isn't it? They're reading books, I hope. Are they reading books, getting educated?
Probably reading the back of the shampoo.
Have you ever met any children, Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't read books when confronted with an issue.
That's not true. That's not true. They do, but they prefer other activities. But okay, standard. Right, okay. Neil, thanks very much for joining us. Your first time on Muse. Do you think you might come back?
Oh, definitely. It was great fun. Great fun.
Good to be back. And Abby, you're a champion. I know that we can't hear you. Yeah, I can see that you're saying sorry. Don't worry about it. It happens. And you know what? It happens to us as well. You know, we just it's one of those things. But
we all have technical problems.
You are a true trooper because you persevered.
Shall we finish with that wonderful Pride on the Road video again?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all. We won't see you next Wednesday.
No, we won't. So
we're going to go on Holly Bob's, but Morgan is going to be in charge of Muse on the News next week. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. So we'll be able to actually watch that live rather than take part. So excited.
Or we might just be on holiday. Never
know.
Okay. Anyway, right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
we'll
everyone.
See you soon.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.